art form, and I love it. So, yeah, to share it with everybody.
What I hope is lately there's been in the new generation, there's a startling trend of assuming that a woman's greatest power is our ability to manipulate men through our body, our looks. A whole new form of feminism saying that women are the superior sex because men will pretty much do whatever we want. But I want to show that the mind is where the real power is. You can create something amazing. No one can tell you no. And you can take a whole world that existed up here and put it into something like this. And working together, you can pretty much accomplish anything. That's what every superhero comic is supposed to be about. Just going forth and doing what's right. And I believe Womanthology is what's right. I hope to inspire the future to agree the same way, because we could use a hand in the right direction. All right, question time. Who has a question?
We could just chat.
Yeah? Today? All right.
Is there a plan for a movie adaptation at all?
I would love to be in it.
Unfortunately, no. Maybe someday, Kickstarter. Do another one's
possibly more appropriate for documentary.
Try making an animated movie. There's a couple more of us in the book that are animation artists, like Katie Shanahan and Kelly Turnbull, so maybe the three of us can team up and do something.
Go ahead. My character, you start off thinking it's a dude, so I clearly am not about over-feminizing the character. I believe, again, the brain is the most important part. Go ahead, ladies.
Well, in Every Heart a Masterwork, Gail actually kind of poked fun at it with one of the characters that the story is about a little girl finding her brother's comic book collection and then putting her own touch on them. And so she finds a comic called Beastia, which is basically kind of a female extremely busty version of Conan the Barbarian in a little not even leather bikini, it's like a bit of animal skin cover that's tied around her to cover certain bits. And yeah, she definitely pokes fun at it. And when I sent an initial sketch to her and to Gail, and Gail's going, you know, you might have to make the chest a little bit bigger. And I'm like, okay, ignoring anatomy rules here. Attaching giant melons to chest. But yeah, we're definitely gently poking at it and going, And in the end, the little girl, Susie, dresses her up like a cowgirl. And makes friends with the dragon that she's fighting.
We deal with it in Glimmer Suit because since I knew I was working with Kat, and Kat came out of has more professional work in the sketch and pin-up and mock cover area, I knew I wanted a page like that, so I made it part of the story. And mistakes sometimes happen in books, and things sometimes get overlooked. I just want to point out that if you do read Glimmer, mentally shift it over one page. It's supposed to start on the right. But in it, I deliberately use a cheesecake shot and deliberately make it part of the story. And the irony was, the character herself has set it up. Originally, when I started sketching this out, this was going to be Barbara mocking the whole cheesecake thing by having the character be disgusted by what had gone on. By the time I got done writing the story, she was responsible.
All right, next question. Go ahead. Yeah.
Were there any stories that were written and drawn by one person, or was everything a collaboration?
Mine was. Is there anyone else in the panel?
There are a few. Most of them, I'd say about 80% or 90% of them were writer-artist teams, and there was a very few that were both. So yeah.
I think it's some of the one-page stories and
yeah, a lot of the one-pages were.
Part of the reason for that is there's fewer opportunities for people who can't do both jobs to go ahead and produce things on their own. And a lot of the women who both write and draw are already producing wonderful stuff that they publish themselves.
And I personally would only like to write. It was just, I was one of the originals, and then we got so many ladies on board that I took a back seat and took a one-shot and just did it myself to make it more convenient for the team. So
yeah, there was a surprising amount of women that wanted to be on Womanthology that are just completely full production, which compared to a lot of men I noticed, I mean, there's still a lot of men that do it, but comparably, there seems like a lot of women, they just, wrote entire webcomics, they drew it, they inked it, they colored it, they lettered it, they could do the whole package, so I thought that was pretty amazing.
It was my first time lettering, it was hard. All right, next question. Go ahead.
So you said that space is going to be the first topic for the next series. Is
lots of ideas kind of floating around. Space just kind of jumped out at us because it's just kind of bold, and it could be translated in many ways. It could be a setting. It couldn't be translated into space at all. It could be like the space between you and another person, or space in a room, or I mean, it could be pretty much anything. But we do have other ideas. Like we had thought of like Earth, you know, because there's just lots of different settings and things like that. But yeah, we're always open up to ideas if you ever have any too, for hopefully the next series and the next one. So,
Any other questions? Go ahead.
The Kickstarter experience like?
Insane.
When that Kickstarter launched, I felt my heart fall because I thought, poor Renae, it's going to be so embarrassing when it doesn't make 25,000.
I warned her, it seems like a lot. She goes, IDW says that's what it is. I go, okay, well, we got 60 days. I think we can do it.
yeah, I thought it would just be a really long, difficult climb, you know, over the month to get to that goal. But I thought we could do it. But it would take a lot of work, and I had this huge plan lined out. I'm like, okay, week 1 we're going to do this, and week 2 we're going to do that, and hopefully by week 1 we'll be at like, you know, 10,000 if we're really lucky. And you know, when that first $50 came in, I was over the moon. I was so excited. I was like, here we go, 0.5% or whatever it was. And you know, little did I know, in 19 hours it met its goal, and it just kept on going. So,
And social networking was a huge part of that, because me and Renae really wanted to make sure that all of us banded together. And so we got 9,000, and then Neil came in, and then
it's like one tweet, millions of people see now.
Renae, if you led me to hell, I would follow you anyway, because I was such a skeptic about this whole thing. Like, it'll be great if I get it, I get in. It'll be great if I get this person to draw for it, I get it. And then it's like, oh, it'll be nice if we, hit the goal. We hit it in a day. Oh, well, we're not going to hit 100K. We hit it. It was amazing. I had to go to class that day, and my friend kept texting me, so my phone would vibrate during like slideshows and stuff that I had to be watching. Of like, you have this much, and at this point, I'm just like, you know what? I believe in anything Renae's going to tell me, because it's worked, and it's worked to an extent that I can't even comprehend. So yeah, Renae, if you lead me to hell, I will follow you very gladly.
I think the real key to it was the incentives, I think. That is a real key to any Kickstarter campaign.
It's a great curiosity factor.
Right.
What's going to happen next?
Right.
And I think the fact that people were willing to shell out $50 for a book that was completely unseen, and they didn't even know who most of the creators were on it, aside from the really big names, that just really says a lot about how much people wanted to see this book and see these women do this comic.
Which, by the way, the quality of this book was freaking amazing. When I got it, I had no idea the paper and everything. The fact that this is $50 is a steal, in my opinion. You had a question.
Tell me about what it was like for the kids.
The kids were amazing, and they were probably the most excited, and they were actually kind of the most difficult at times to show them that they can do it and that they should be on the book, because they felt like they belonged, along with all of the other artists that were, older, a little bit more experienced. So the Ladd sisters were probably one of my favorites, because there's there's a family I had met at Con, over years, and it's a large family, they homeschool, and this particular family has 4 girls, and they every year they bring their own homemade comics to Con, give them out and talk about it. It's like one of their homeschool projects. So for this book, it was just pretty amazing for them. They got to work with Gail Simone, who wrote them a 2-page script, and they got to all work together as sisters to create, the whole comic. So it was really fun, and all of the other children and teams on it were very excited, and it was a lot of fun. My favorite part, I think.
I was impressed by how many kids had heard of Joan of Arc. the only recurring character, I think, in Womanthology is Joan of Arc, who shows up in 3 different comics. And I had no idea she was that well known in the younger generation, but they're reading their history books.
How many people are 18
I'm not sure. It's about 12, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's something about 12. Yeah, she